everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about a company that I've talked about in the past before. The company is called the Fragrance Decant Boutique. Now, when I talked about them in the past, I was primarily focused on their bottles, their accessories, things of that nature, but this time I'm going to really focus on their main kind of goal and agenda. So this video is going to be a little bit different than the one that we had in the past. Now, quick disclaimer before I go ahead and get started, this is a sponsored review. In other words, the company reached out to me and said, hey, would you want to do this video? We'll go ahead and send you these things. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I can go ahead and do an updated video. So for those of you who are not familiar with kind of my body of work, I always strive to maintain and be impartial. And I will still give you my honest opinion, despite the fact that this is a sponsored review. So with that out of the way, if you trust me, let's continue on, but if you don't, no hard feelings, feel free to click away, all right? That's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start with an overview of this company. Now, the Fragrance Decant Boutique is a company that primarily specializes in providing decants of existing fragrances that are out there. Now, for those of you who don't know what a decant is, it's essentially a small little bottle of the fragrance, and it's not the official fragrance, it's a smaller sample size of the fragrance. So you can think of it like samples, bigger samples, if you will, but they give you a bottle of the fragrance. Now, why would one go ahead and purchase these fragrances? Well, or these decants? One, some people don't want to go ahead and purchase the whole bottle. They may like a fragrance, but they may not want as much of the liquid as possible. Two, they may be more interested in, keeping smaller amounts of the actual fragrance. So for example, I know a couple people who have a bunch of little decants, even of their bottles, they have a bunch of little decants that they keep around just because, they go through it and that's all that they wanted of the usage of it. Another potential reason is it's easier to travel with that amount. I know the rules for liquids are different in the EU versus US, and generally it's easier to carry smaller decants of a fragrance around than it is full bottles. And obviously the other reason is it's less expensive than it is to purchase the full bottle just to get a smaller sample size or a smaller decant of the fragrance. So that's their kind of overall kind of gist. They provide these fragrances in different sizes that you can go ahead and purchase. So that's their pretty much general overview of it. So with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and do a walkthrough and look of their site. All right, guys, we're here on the Decant Boutique website. The first thing, in order to get to the website, obviously, if you type in www.decantboutique.com, you'll be taken to this site here, or you can type in the Fragrance Decant Boutique in a browser of your choice, and you will be brought to this page. Now, once we're on this page, there's a couple things you can do. You've got your quick links to my account. I'm actually logged in right now. You've got your wish list. You've got social media buttons here, so you can follow any one of these to Twitter, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, LinkedIn, etc., and it will take you to the Fragrance Decant Boutique's social media sites. Now, personally, when I come on this site, I usually go to Shop. And the shop button is where we're going to go ahead and click on. Now, the site itself boasts roughly about 650 different fragrances, along with about 120 different brands that it represents. So the extension or the selection is climbing, and it's pretty extensive. So if we go to this page, it looks very similar to how most other fragrance websites present themselves. So you've got, your quick pictures of the fragrance. Down below, you've got, what the fragrance is, the price options, and when you mouse over it, it kind of gives you a short description of what it is. So, pretty standard here. And if you look on the left-hand side, you got some categories that you can browse through: male fragrances, female, popular ones. And then you can also do things like filter by price if you want a min or max price. And then finally here, which is not what most other sites have, but you also have a bottle size filter. Since this is a decant site, if you are looking for a particular decant size, because not all sizes are available to not all bottles, but if you are looking for a particular size, you can go ahead and select it and try and filter down from there. You also have top rated products widget over here, as well as the specific brands if you're looking for a brand. You can apply those filters and they will apply here. Here you have your default sorting, which I'm not exactly sure, but if you want, you can sort by low to high. and it will go ahead and do that sorting for you. So here are the lowest prices here, but I'm going to go ahead and go back to, I'm going to select popularity here. Now, the one thing of note that I have noticed on the site is things such as this list layout here. Even though I'm clicking on it, it doesn't exactly work. I personally like to do things like choose 100. I like the maximum amount or whatever the sites that you're on allow you to go to. Realize that it increases kind of like the load time sometimes, but what I'm primarily concerned of is seeing as many as I can possibly see on a page. And it's loaded. It doesn't really give you an indication that it has, and you can scroll down here and browse the amount of fragrances and browse the fragrances that you want to go ahead. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one. I'm going to go ahead and choose Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather. So if I click on Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather and go to, let's see, select options, give the site a second to load. And here we have the fragrance. So a couple things that pop up are earn 25 fragrance Decant boutique reward sprays for reviewing the product, and you then obviously you can go ahead and purchase it and earn even more Decant reward sprays, which I will touch upon just a little bit later in the video. Now, here you see it gives a description of the fragrance and it gives a price range. Now, this is one of the things, unfortunately, that I don't like about the site currently, and that's you can go ahead and select an option, but there is no indication of the price as you're selecting. So if you go down here, and I'm going to select spray 5 milliliter. I am on 5 milliliter, but you don't see anywhere where the price is of that 5 milliliter. You can add the 5 milliliter to cart, in which case your cart over here will be updated and it'll tell you, okay, that's 15 bucks. But you don't see any price of all of these, kind of like in range, which is an improvement that I wish they can make on the site. So the $73.70 is probably the amount that you're going to pay for the 30 milliliter. So I'm going to go ahead and add that just to kind of confirm that and see what it is. Yep, probably. I'm going to go ahead and click on the cart. And you can see here, yep, this was the 5 milliliter that I went ahead and added. That's $15, and the 30 milliliter of Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather is $73. So the other cool thing that this site actually does have is it gives you a preview of what the decant looks like. So it might be a little bit harder to see on your screen. That actually leads back to the fragrance, but it gives you a preview. This is 5 milliliters, and then it shows you this is the 20 and 30 milliliter bottles, what they look like of what you're going to get. You can apply coupon codes here, and then also you can use things like PayPal, PayPal Credit, and Amazon Pay to go ahead and purchase these items as they're here. So, you know, that's the basic shopping experience with this site, which is pretty nice. You can also browse and frequent, you know, their FAQs, help, contacting them, and if you wish to become affiliate, you can go ahead and register on that page. So that essentially sums it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a preview of some of the accessories. So if we're going to kind of look at the bottles and the accessories as they come, here's some example of some. Here are two of, I believe, the 3 milliliters. You can see one kind of has this black, I like the black one that has a black wrap around a little bit better than I like this standard one. And the main reason is I've got so many of this one kind of floating around. And this one, I just think the design of the decant looks a little bit cooler, sleeker. This is an example of a roller ball. I don't use roller balls. I actually can't stand them with fragrances. And personally, I would never recommend a roller ball, but this is an option. Here, the roller balls. And finally, you have the bigger, some of the bigger sizes of the sprayers. Same thing, this one's kind of got this, you know, metallic top, metallic. It's okay. I generally, the funny thing is I like the design of the black one a little bit better, but I like the fact that this has a little bit of a metal top. So if I could somehow get a black metal top and put it on there, that would be my ideal. But that's you know, kind of that portion. Now, the other thing that I kind of wanted to show you was the I guess you could say the decant stand, if you will. Unfortunately, I don't like the decant stand just because I'm a little bit neurotic when it comes to how I display my fragrances, and I genuinely don't display my decants and smaller fragrances of that nature. I mean, that definitely does go in and fits in perfectly fine. You can fit pretty much all of the sizes in here. And if you wanted to display them, that would go ahead and work. But you know, you start getting into, for me, and the reason why I say I'm really neurotic for this is I'd want to put labels on them, and then it's like, all right, can I see the labels in the back of these? And it just becomes a little bit of a pain in the ass to me. So, yeah, so that's kind of just an overview of the accessories. So I wanted to touch on one last thing that this company actually offers, which is pretty cool, and that's kind of a point system. I think they call it sprays on the site, where essentially most things that you do, whether it be if you review a fragrance there that you've purchased, if you sign up for the site, you start to accumulate points that you can then use to purchase more decants and things of that nature. So it begins to accumulate over time, just like any standard point system. So it's pretty cool, and go ahead and check that out as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. As a final type thing of note, I want to go ahead and announce that I do have a contest. And the contest is very simple. The prize is $50 credit at the Fragrance Decant Boutique. And what you have to do in order to earn this is two things. One, you have to register on the site, and two, comment down below in the video and, you know, basically just say that you want to enter the contest and, you know, include it whatever comment that you actually have within the video. So that pretty much makes you eligible for the prize, and at a later date, more than likely within a month, I will go ahead and announce the winner and send those details off to that. Now, the second notion is, this is outside of the actual prize and everything like that, is there is a 10% discount that will run for 1 month of the airing of this video, and the details and the name will be down below within it, that you can go ahead and use in order to, you know, purchase decants on the website and things of that nature. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully you guys utilize that, and that will be, you know, perfectly good. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are on this site. Leave it down below, send me a message, do whatever you got to do. Thank you guys, take care of yourselves, and you guys have a great day.